I'm excited. I can't hide it. Let's get this show on the road. I got my popcorn ready. All right.
Next question is from Wakuz. He asked the following. He says, I got a few questions. If you were to time warp all butterfly effect like to the past, when was there a moment in your life that you would go back to, and would you change anything, and would you do YouTube and Twitch all over again or live your life differently? Where do you see yourself being at instead? Have anyone ever called you King, Sire, Lord, or Liege Majesty on YouTube or Twitch? Well, I can answer that last question. I don't think anyone's ever did it seriously. Anyone who would say that stuff, they're doing it sarcastically, and I wouldn't want to be called by that anyway. I've always said I'm a very down-to-earth guy. I don't feel I'm an e-celebrity or anything like that. I don't even feel I'm famous. Just because people know who I am on the internet doesn't mean I'm famous or important. I would never want anyone to address me in a crazy manner like that. But as to your first question,
certainly over the years, I've learned things.
Right? I've definitely learned things.
At least being open-minded and taking in valid criticism and input about the stuff that you put out there is key to success. I used to be a very stubborn guy who would say, oh, I know better than you. I know better than you. I'll just do whatever I want. And then people would say, oh, you're behind the times. You missed out on this. Look at all these opportunities you missed out on because you weren't listening, right? So I'm much more open-minded in that regard. Also, one of the most critical things that I've learned over the years, don't share personal information. And I hate to say that because I used to be the guy that was completely open and honest. I used to tell you guys everything about everything, every little possible thing about my personal life, my business life, everything was shared with you. I was fully transparent, but sadly what happened over the years is that when public opinion, or at least common opinion of this hive mentality of immature, toxic people that became the main viewer base of YouTube, they basically had this big negative belief that I was like a horrible person, and they used all that information, that personal information that I had revealed over years and years to do negative things toward me, okay? To slander me, to defame me, to make me look bad. And I was like, man, if only I could have gone back and told myself, be more careful with the stuff that you give out. You know, maybe they wouldn't be able to do these hurtful things against me. And, you know, another thing that I've also learned is now in the modern era to pick my battles. Back in the day, every possible thing that went wrong, I would bring it up. And I would go overblown. I would do a big alert video. This horrible thing happened to me, and it really wasn't that horrible, but I would blow it up to as a big horrible thing to do a video about on YouTube, right? I'll be honest with you guys. It happens all the time. Like, there's stuff behind the scenes you guys don't even know about. Negative stuff that happens to me, trolling, just people basically going and defaming me with many different things, different venues, different business opportunities, sponsorship opportunities, all kinds of stuff. And people just go and troll the fuck out of everything. And I lose those opportunities. And it sucks because a lot of people say, Phil, you know, the future is sponsorship. I can never get a sponsor. I'm just being real with you guys. I will never get like a sponsor because if I got one, they would be trolled so fucking hard by the people who hate me that the sponsor would say, even though you did nothing wrong, Phil, it's too much liability with all these assholes. So, you know, we can't move forward with the sponsorship. And this has happened to me many times in the last year. There's stuff behind the scenes I don't bring up. But the thing is, there's no point in me bringing it up.
Rather than me focusing on every little negative thing that happens, every little negative thing, there's no point in bringing it up anymore, because it always seems like the sky is falling. Here's the next bad thing to happen. But people don't want to hear about that. What people want to do is come to my streams. They want to hang out with me. They want to chill. They want to have a relaxed vibe where it's not like I got to come and hear all this dramatic shit and all this, oh no, horrible stuff that happened to Phil, the pity party. They want to just come out and hang out and have fun and watch games and chill and talk to me, right? And that's what I found is it's not, it used to be, oh no, someone fucked with me, so let's fuck back with them by making a video that made people publicly aware, and maybe, you know, I get a little bit of support because of that. Now it's like, I don't even want to bring it up anymore. If something negative happens, unless it's something that directly is negatively affecting me, you know, straight up with you, like, so you need to know, then I'm not going to bring it up. You know, people have been asking me for the past 2-3 months about a few different things, and I purposely ignored the questions because there's no point in bringing it up. If something negative that happened and I lost an opportunity, oh well, move forward positively. The streams are going great. Everything's going good. Why would I complain about something over here? You know, you got to pick your battles. Pick your battles to the ones that are really important, and that's something that I've definitely learned over the years. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You say, would I go back in time and change everything like a butterfly effect? No, because the thing is, I am where I am today because I went through what I went through for the last 10 years, right? Because I went through all of those experiences, I am the person I am today.
I am who I am today because of Harry. This is amazing.
Harry Potter shaped me as a person.
Feel that I am a better person and a better content creator today by far than I was 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. I feel like I've been getting better and better. And it's actually funny because even though there's these people who staunchly hate me and want me to fail, even they have started to come out recently and admit that I'm a lot better than I used to be and that there's a lot other people out there that are a lot worse than me.
Now, it doesn't mean that they stopped trying to fuck with me.
But they've almost, you know, collectively admitted that things are better now. And I want that to continue. I want it to be that people who maybe don't like me give me a chance and will come and watch the stuff and say, oh shit, Phil, this is a lot better than it used to be. It's actually not what people say it is anymore. You know, these negative people, it's actually a lot better kind of a content.
Over the past couple of years, I noticed that your viewers seem to be placed into two categories. Either you're an obsequious, sycophantic fan, or you're a cantankerous, nefarious detractor. Why do you think we are placed into these categories? Would you ever encourage a dialogue between fans and the more innocuous and sensible of your antagonists? I only ask because in my experience, only polarization, disagreement, and deliberation can cause progress. Here's the thing. I hate to say it, immature people see the world in black and white.
Right?
So if you're immature and you don't have a lot of experience and you're not very wise, what you see is two things. Wow, it's either the crazy fanboys of Phil or the insane haters of Phil. They don't realize that not everyone has to be placed into those categories. There's people who watch me casually, who maybe if I'm playing a particular style of game they'll watch. They don't necessarily love me as the best person on planet Earth, but they do acknowledge that watching my content can be entertaining and they'll watch me play certain kinds of stuff. They don't want to become part of this battle between the supporters and the haters. They just want to come and watch and have fun. And I'll tell you this, I really do believe that my newer attitude where, again, I'm not addressing the negative drama all the time. I'm trying to make the streams more chill and relaxed and just fun no matter what game I'm playing. And I don't really care about attendance as long as we just get people excited and engaged and participating in the streams. It doesn't matter what I'm playing or who's involved, right? It's funny because I could be playing Dark Souls and you have 800 trolls on the stream talking shit, or I could be playing Dragon Quest where you've only got 200 people who actually really love the content I'm putting out. Both of those streams can be equally entertaining to the viewer as long as I stay with the same kind of positive attitude. You see what I mean? But the bottom line is people who see the world black and white are just immature. They don't realize that the world is not black and white. There's many shades of gray, right?
Many shades of uncertainties about what's right and what's wrong. And it doesn't mean that just because you've watched This Is How You Don't Play video about me that you're a horrible person and I hate you and you're a detractor. And it also doesn't mean that just because you tipped me $5 on a stream that now you're an insane fanboy who will, you know, kiss my ass no matter what. But that's what immature and just uneducated people will say. And sadly, I hate to say that, that's a lot of the viewer base on YouTube today. Why do you think YouTube is mostly drama videos and this kind of shit that's black and white, horrible or great, right? That's not how the world is. But people love to do that because it makes it simple, rather than believe that there's actually nuance. And let's face it, guys, if really I was as hated as everyone says, I wouldn't be here. 10 years later, being able to make a living doing what I do, I wouldn't be here being able to make a living doing what I do if I were as hated as I was, right? At the same time, if I really were as loved as people think, then I wouldn't be in financial situations that I'm in and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's both ends of the spectrum are wrong. I really don't feel that being the most hardcore white knight fanboy, but also being the most black-hearted, evil, you know, malicious wishing detractor, I don't think either makes any sense. I think that we all just have to kind of have our own stuff going on, our own lives, and if you can make it to my streams and have fun watching my content, great. And if you can't,
you fucking worthless humans.
You know, that's kind of the attitude, more laid-back attitude that I want to have.
You know, I never understood the mentality of someone who's like, I have to watch everything Phil does. I mean, people used to complain I put out too much content and there's no way to watch all of it. Okay, then don't watch all of it. Just watch what you want to watch. The whole point is I'm putting out so much content and such a variety of content, right? that you can watch casually whenever you have a chance and watch what interests you. But there are some people that become, I'm the hardcore White Knight fanboy. I must watch every piece of content Phil puts out. That's not, in my opinion, that's not even a healthy attitude to have. I put out so much content, how could you even watch it all, right? At the same time, I hate everything Phil does no matter what, even if some of it actually is kind of good. I hate it anyway because I hate Phil. That's crazy attitude too. You see what I mean? Like, you've got to find that balance. And that's the thing, Infinite, is that I think that basically people who want to oversimplify stuff to make life simple. Life isn't simple. Life is very complex, and there's layers and facets to everything in life. And it's not white and black, good and bad. You know what I mean? It's everyone's kind of a shade of gray. That's why I don't mind if there's people who come by and kind of tease me and do kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Second question from Infinite. He says, I wanted to inquire about the criteria and process that you use when you decide whether someone is trustworthy and deserving of being a moderator. Is it something that requires a considerable amount of research, background checking, and reconnaissance, or is it process more analogous to a leap of faith that requires a great deal of intuition?
I certainly don't want to reveal everything that I do when I make someone moderator, because obviously then someone might try to game the system. But what I'll say is now I am a little bit more careful with what I do, because we did have one or two people in the past who basically pretended to be really nice stream chatters. I mean, we had someone who for 8 months pretended to be someone of an opposite gender, actually had friendships with people in the chat via private message or whatever, where personal information was supposedly revealed, just to find out it was a guy impersonating a girl to get in everyone's good graces, become a moderator, and we're planning an actual overthrow of my chat and trying to get me in trouble and banned from Twitch. I mean, it was sick. 8 months, you pretended to be someone you weren't, just to come in and say, I'm gonna get Phil banned from Twitch and fuck people over.
It was pretty gross catfishing, okay?
Thank God that's in the past, and we haven't had a situation like that in quite some time. You came to a convention, you hung out with me all day, you got free autographs and everything. I didn't charge you a dime for anything. We go to dinner, you can't even pay for your dinner, you're gonna take advantage. Like, that's fucked up, and that really pissed me off. Some people are of the opposite mentality. They feel that the tanginess and sweetness of a pineapple actually complement the savoriness and saltiness of what you taste on a normal pizza. Shout out to the following people. We've got Ragiaz cheered and says, why don't I re-enable comments for my YouTube videos? That could help to increase the rankings and get more views. You shouldn't care about the trolls like most of the channels on YouTube. Sadly, Ragiaz, that was the attitude I always took. I always said, I don't care. But what happened was, I wasn't reading comments anymore. I actively was just ignoring comments because I knew that there was so much negativity and vile, toxic shit in those comments. And actually, my fans, about the middle of last year, when I changed my stream quality, and now my streams were more interactive and positive and everything, my fans were coming to me and saying, Phil, you've got to do something, because we go to your YouTube videos, and when you open it up, all you see is like the most offensive, disgusting, vile stuff in your comments, to the point where, like, I wouldn't want my kids watching your videos because of the comments. Not even because of the content of your video, but the comment section has become so disgusting because people are trying to say the most extreme negative things so they could get in a detractor video of this is how you don't play video. And they were right. I went and started looking at comments. I was like, oh my God, I don't have the time to sit here and fucking moderate these comments. So I turned them off. And I'll be honest, there's been no negative impact whatsoever. Zero negative impact since I turned comments off, because for so long the comments have become so toxic that no one was really actively reading them for positive purposes anyway. If anything, if you take a look now, the videos that are made about me on YouTube are not of that quality anymore. You can't do it. This is how you don't play with a bunch of negative shit like that, because it doesn't exist. What they have to do is go circle jerk themselves on their own streams and stuff, which is fine in my opinion. Let them do it on their own shit and keep it out of mine, right? So if I turn the comments on, it would be nothing but counterproductive. You'd have the same wave of people. They've been bottled up for a year now. You wouldn't want to uncork that bottle and just pour the shit river back onto my YouTube videos, so I'm not doing it.
Dun, 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 dark side. Dun, 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 dun.
Next question is actually a double question. It's a double question from Fallen FGFM1570. And he asks the following. First, he says, how's your back doing? I noticed there hasn't been an issue with it.
That is correct. Like, my back, for the most part, is good. You know, when I lived in Connecticut, you got to realize there were a lot of factors involved that made my back worse. Even though I had a severely herniated disc, there was snow and ice constantly in the winter. There were incredibly hot, humid, nasty fucking summers. I lived alone, and I had to constantly, like, when I go grocery shopping or whatever, I would have to carry all the shit by myself. I had to walk from my car through this parking lot that was a piece of shit falling apart, up a staircase, down a long hallway to get to my unit and back. It wasn't like now where I have a garage. And a lot of stuff was far away from me. If I wanted to do stuff in Connecticut, I had to drive a lot to get to that stuff. Since I moved to Washington State, I have a garage, so I don't have to worry about long walks to and from my car. There's relatively no snow or ice to have to worry about. There's no really super hot weather to worry about. I don't have to do strenuous physical activity. Oh, I go grocery shopping. I take the bags from the trunk into the kitchen, which is the next room over. It's like 2 seconds. I basically have a better life out here because of the things out here are very different from when I lived in Connecticut. And it's allowed me to adjust, and my back has healed. I think what happened was the herniation of the disc went away, and the muscles around the spine in that area of my back strengthened, and I'm good now. So I have not had a single issue with my back in probably over a year. Every once in a while, sure, I'll go out, and I spend a whole day out, and I come back, and my back is like tight and hurts a little bit, but within a few hours, it's better again. So I think I'm good. I think my back injury is good, which is amazing because a lot of people have those debilitating back injuries and they never get better. Mine actually did, which is pretty damn positive and crazy. So,
wow, he has a lot of questions. Let's do some shout outs. Humanoma cheered a bunch again. He cheered 100 bits and says, I can't pull off cowboy boots. Have you ever considered integrating them into your wardrobe? No, boots are not my thing. I've got ginormous feet. I'm not even kidding, size 13 feet, and I would not want to be wearing confined boots. That would probably create
something called odor.
Wait a minute. It cut off. What the? My question is, he already asked this question. It cut off here. So his first thoughts is, what are my thoughts? His first... Let's try this again.
Fucking garbage.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
all of that.